Okay guys, example ulit. Pero for now, the topic would be for shallow foundations. So, diretso na natin sa situation number 1. So dito, we have a square footing in a soil with properties of the gamma of the soil, 17.3 kilonewton per cubic meter. We have a cohesion of 9.6 kilopascals and the angle of internal friction of 28 degrees. So assume no water table exists. First question would be determine the ultimate bearing capacity, assuming a general shear failure in soil. Finding the allowable bearing capacity if the factor of safety is 2.5, and we have here compute the gross allowable load that the footing can carry. Start natin. So, in determining the ultimate bearing capacity, una nating hanapin yung mga missing. So, equation for your Q-ult is 1.3 CNC plus Q&Q plus gamma and gamma B 0.4 ang gagamitin since this is square nga, di ba? So, nakalagay dyan na square footing. So, 0.4 yung multiplier nung last. Meron na ba tayong cohesion? Meron na. Meron na ba tayong NC, NQ, and gamma? Makukuha pa lang natin. So, yan ay dependent with the phi. So, kung ano ang value ng phi mo, magbabago ang NC, NQ, and gamma. We have two options actually. We can just use equations or we can just use a table. In this solution, gagamitin ko yung table. So, ayan na yung mga values ng NC, NQ, and gamma. Ano pa yung kulang? We have gamma, we have B, yung width ng ating foundation. Ano pa yung kulang? Yung Q. Okay, so ano ba yung surcharge Q na yan? So, kukunin natin yung surcharge or yung load ng soil above now your footing. Kaya ginagamit dyan yung depth from the ground surface to the tip, no, yung pinaka-bottom ng ating foundation. So, gamma D or gamma height na lang. That would be 17.3 times 0.9, makukuha mo na 15.57 kilopascals ang surcharge above the bottom of your foundation. Di, substitute mo na natin yan. 1.3 times cohesion times yung NC na nakuha sa table plus surcharge times NQ na nakuha sa table plus 0.4 because it's square, gamma ng soil, width ng ating foundation, tapos yung N gamma galing sa table. Instantly, makukuha na natin yung Q ultimate. Take note this is general shear failure. So, hindi natin gagamitin yung isang part. Number 2 tayo. Find the allowable bearing capacity if the factor of safety is 2.5. So, paano nga ba natin kunin ng allowable bearing capacity? Sabihin yan, yung nakuha mong Q-ult nung una, we could just say that it's a nominal value. Wala pa yung naidagdag or na-multiplyan ng something para mabawasan or madagdagan. So in this case, for us to get the allowable or design value, just divide it with the factor of safety. So dito, Q-ult over the factor of safety 2.5, makuha mo that the allowable bearing capacity or design bearing capacity is equal to 314.22 kilopascals. Doon tayo sa number 3. Compute the gross allowable load that the footing can carry. Multiply mo lang yung area ng footing doon ngayon sa Q allowable. Yan na yung sagot. So sir, paano mo malalaman kung gross or net? Sa number 2 kasi, actually, hindi kompleto yan eh. Ang tawag dapat dyan, gross allowable bearing capacity. So, wala pang nababawas kasi pag sinabi mong gross yung isang value. So, paano magiging net allowable bearing capacity yan? Yung Q ultimate, babawasan mo lang ngayon ng surcharge Q bago mo siya i-divide ng factor of safety. Makukuha mo na ngayon agad yung value. Ganun lang kasimple. Pero since hindi tayo nag-minus Q doon sa taas, etong Q allowable, multiply mo lang ng area ng footing, yun na yung force allowable or yung load or gross allowable load na kakayanin ng ating footing. So, ano ba yung dimension ng ating footing? 1.2 by 1.2. So, multiply natin yan sa Q allowable, makukuha nyo na yung allowable load sa ating footing is 452.48 kilonewtons. Okay, next situation tayo. A square footing carries an allowable load of 59,130 kilograms, including its own weight. The bottom of the footing is 1 meter below the ground surface and the water table coincides with the bottom of the footing. Assume general shear failure. Soil properties are gamma is equal to 1,846 kilograms per cubic meter. Gamma saturated, 1,965 kilograms per cubic meter. Cohesion of 1,605 kilograms per square meter. NC is 35, NQ is 22, and gamma is 19. Find the effective surcharge at the bottom of the footing. Very easy. It's just gamma depth. We have here the footing size, if the factor of safety is 3, and allowable bearing capacity. Okay. Effective surcharge. So, sabi ko nga, mabilis lang yan. It's just yung Q gamma D. So, 1,846 times 1 meter. Yun na mismo yung value. We should have 1,846 kilogram per square meter. Now, ano ngayon yung size ng footing kapag ang factor of safety is 3? Okay, bagong lahat. Alam natin na ang Q allowable is equal to the ultimate Q over the factor of safety. At alam din natin na para makuha ang ating Q allowable, same din yan kung meron kang initial force. Tama? So, if force over area is still Q, we could say that F allowable or the allowable load over the area of the footing is also equal to the Q ultimate over the factor of safety. And take note, since we're using kilograms, ang gamma ng water na gagamitin natin ay hindi na yung 9.81 kasi that's in kilonewtons. If we're using kilograms and meter, dapat yung gamma ng water natin 1,000 kilograms per cubic meter. So, mapapansin natin nandun sa problem, no? Na yung water table, it coincides with the bottom of the footing. So, case 2 tayo ng ating groundwater table effects on the soil or on the foundation. So, in case 2, papalitan lang naman natin yung gamma ng effective gamma. So, ano mangyayari ulit pag sinabi mong effective gamma? Yung effective gamma would be equal to yung gamma saturated minus yung gamma ng water. So, substitute mo lang lahat yan, makukuha mo na yung value ng Q ult. Pero, hindi pa nga natin alam yung footing size. So, that would be still a mystery. Iwan muna natin siya as an equation. So, puntahan natin ulit yung equation. So, yung F allowable, given yan. Yan yung 59,130. Area ng footing, since we're talking of square, width times width, equal to yung Q ult na nasolve natin kanina in terms of B, or yung width, over the factor of safety 3. Makuha mo na dito yung width natin as 1.2 meters. Using calculator or shift solve. Find the allowable bearing capacity. Simple lang, substitute lang natin yung value ng width dun sa Q ult, yun na yung value. Okay? So our Q ult would be 122,440.3 kilograms per square meter. Next example tayo, situation 3. Another square footing as shown in the figure. So, compute natin yung ultimate bearing capacity if it's in general shear failure. Compute natin yung allowable bearing capacity if Fs is 3, tapos yung allowable load that the footing could carry. So, nakikita nyo dito, meron tayong gamma na 17.6 kN per cubic meter, meron tayong angle of internal friction na 30 degrees, cohesion na 12.2 kilopascal, at gamma sat na 19.7 kN per cubic meter. Okay, meron tayong size ng footing 1.3 since square yan. So, yung width, same lang din na 1.3. And then, 0.9 yung depth ng ating footing from the ground surface. Tapos, meron tayong groundwater table 1.2 meters from the ground surface. So, dito pa lang, pwede na natin makita kung anong case. So, case 3 tayo. Compute the ultimate bearing capacity assuming general shear failure. Q ulit. Kunin natin yung surcharge. It's just gamma D. 17.6 times 0.9. Makuha natin 15.84 kilopascals. Soil bearing factors. Gamitin na natin yung table. So, diretso tayo dun sa equation ng Q ult. Q ult would now be 1.3 CNC plus Q and Q plus 0.4 gamma average and gamma times B since case 3 nga. So, kunin muna natin yung gamma average. So, in dealing with gamma average, dun tayo ulit sa equation na binigay natin. Kaso dalawang case yun. So, dito alamin natin kung yung width ng ating footing, which is yung 1.3, is greater than or lesser than yung distance from the tip or bottom of the footing to the groundwater table. Dito, yung distance ng ating bottom of the foundation or bottom of the footing to the groundwater table is 1.2 less 0.9 would give us 0.3. 1.3 yung width. So, lalagpas, no? So, pasok siya sa gamma average. So, gamma average B is also equal to, ito na, 17.6 times 0.3 plus yung gamma submerge or yung effective gamma, 19.7 minus 9.81. Tapos, 1.3 or yung width minus yung distance ng tip ng footing to the groundwater table. Pansinin nyo dito, no, yung 1 over B na nasa right side, nilipat ko na lang sa left side. Kasi yan lang din naman yung kabuuan dun sa equation ng Q ult naman. So, para hindi na ako over B pa dyan, lipat ko na lang yung B sa kabila. No? Since kabuuan naman ng gamma AVB, nandun na rin sa Q ult equation. So, we will get 15.17. Tapos, substitute mo na rin agad, diretso, Q ult. Ayun na yung value natin, 1,061.2 kilopascals. And then, compute the allowable bearing capacity if it has a factor of safety of 3. Simple lang, Q ult over factor of safety, makuha mo na yung Q allowable. So, kung Q net, ang tatanong dito, minus nyo lang yung Q na nakuha natin dun sa una. Okay? So, since allowable gross, wala naman sinabing net, di gross ka. Next, compute the allowable load. Simple lang ulit, Q allowable multiplied by area of the footing, which is 1.3 since square, edi 1.3 squared. Makuha mo na yung allowable load na kaya na buhatin ng footing, that would be 597.8. Okay, so thank you guys. Peace.